All right, hey guys, here we are for a Wednesday night solo. Just looking over here. Thanks, Pat. I appreciate it. Hopefully, that intro was something that sticks around. I know I've started incorporating it into my stuff here. I've put it in a couple videos that I've edited, but I don't think it's on Devin's system yet, so that will be the next thing that we change. But yeah, welcome. We're here for a Wednesday night solo. Devin is currently out of town. So I am taking the reins here and playing some Explorers of Navoria. George, I am hoping to have some fun. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Should be good. Now, excuse me, if you tuned in on Monday, you heard me say that I was going to do a little prep play. I actually did not get a chance to do that. Been super busy. I forgot I had a bunch of other stuff to do this week and didn't get to the table until now. So, Dennis, I'm glad that you're excited. This should be a good one. So we are playing Explorers of Navoria, and then we're actually adding on the Forgotten Lands expansion because that is actually what makes it a solo or 5-player game. The base game here is 2 to 4. This one expands it to 1 to 5. Less heads down, solo clunky. Appreciate it, Pat. Thank you. Scenario 1 is cool, easy opener. That's good to know. It seems like it shouldn't be too bad here. So we'll go ahead and switch over here and we can kind of explain a little bit about this game. Let me move these boxes. We'll put them back here, make it look good. All right, so this one is a little bit bigger, so I'm going to have to be reaching a little bit. Hopefully I don't bump the microphone too much. That's kind of the goal here, but shouldn't be too bad. So, like George said here, we are going to be playing Scenario 1 for Explorers of Navoria. Sorry if you can hear my daughter screaming in the background. It's currently bedtime, and my wife is in there. So hopefully I don't have to go here in a bit. But anyway, this is Explorers of Navoria. And looks pretty good. Honestly, the first time I ever saw this game, it reminded me of Root. Just the artwork and everything like that really reminded me of that game. But once I actually got into the gameplay, it is nothing like Root. I thought there was a little bit of backstory here. Here we go. In the magical land of Navoria, new and strange continents have emerged from the sea. The Council of Navoria has decreed that the new continents must be explored, and you and a handful of other intrepid adventurers have answered the call. The stage is set for the adventure of a lifetime. A game of Explorers of Navoria consists of 3 rounds. Each round you'll recruit townsfolk. That's what these cards are. We'll claim rewards. At the end of the 3rd round, the players with the most victory points win the game. Bedtime is the worst, and I want to scream. Yeah, I feel that too. So, couple things here that the expansion has added. It added this little island right here, this little floating island, because it also added in these different tokens. It also added in this row of gray cards right here, and it added in these solo tokens. And these solo tokens are on every space that has a crown on it. So up there we have the Glaciers land. Over here we have the desert land, and over here we have the forest land. So how the game plays is we're going to be going through 4 different phases, and those phases are very easy. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to recruit. And when we recruit, we have this handy bag here. We're just going to shake it up, and let me make sure I took all the stuff out. I did. Okay. In a solo game, you should only have 2 of each color. So what you can do is you can draw in this bag and draw out 2 different tokens. Now, these tokens pertain to different townsfolk. So you've got green and you've got yellow. So let's talk about the townsfolk a little bit. These yellow ones here, they're going to allow you to build out your terrains, or not your terrains, your trading posts. So you have your trading posts here, and these cards will allow you to build on there. So this one actually lets you build on the glacier. Excuse me, this one is the desert, this one is the forest. So what you would do then is you would just remove your little trading post and you would put it in order. There's numbers 1, 2, 3 for each of those tracks. I'll get to why you want to do that a little bit later, but those are the trading posts. That's mainly what the yellow ones do. These green ones here are going to give you resources. So the resources that we have, or the 3 base resources, the resources that we have are these. So we've got crystals, swords, and apples. Those are the 3 base resources, and that's what those cards are going to give you there. Those resources are used for your playing board here. So you can see here, hopefully, in this purple area in the forest, once you put a sword, a crystal, and an apple, you will trigger a contract that is being fulfilled, and you'll get to run all of these actions on your player board. Go yellow movement. Okay, George, I think that that's most likely what you'll be doing, or what I'll be doing, because I do have to make it to the 3rd spot, I think. So anyway, back over here, you will always get the movement, and you'll score victory points for your green cards. And then whichever ones of these you've unlocked, you will get those actions as well whenever you do your contracts. So when we do our first contract, I'll kind of go over that again, just so that it makes sense. These red cards here, those are endgame victory points. And you score those based on how many trading posts you have out in Navoria. So for example, this one is for every trading post in your glacier, you get 2 victory points. The blue ones up there are kind of your currency cards. And so what they do is there's 2 sections. So the section on the left here, this section, is immediate victory points. And then anytime you see that C, that is your income. So those cards, they give you victory points for every one of the species that you have. Gotta love a game that's 99% reinforcement. Yeah. So if you notice, all of these cards have different symbols. Hopefully you can see them fairly well. But those symbols are actually going to be used for set collection. And you can actually see over here on this side of the board, those are end game scoring conditions. Once you get 5 of this specific species, you can claim that goal. Once you get 5 of this one, you can claim that goal, so on for the other ones. So then blue will score you for every card you have of that species. And then the very top cards there, those pink, purple cards, those give you movement on those tracks, and they score for every flag that you have reached. So there's a bunch of scoring in this game. It's a bunch of point salad. And then finally, over here, these gray cards, they don't give you any victory. Well, they might give you victory points. They don't give you any species, but they act as 2 colored cards. So like this one up here acts as a green and a blue card. It also gets you a contract. It gets you a resource of your choice and a victory point. Contracts are a new resource for the expansion. Hey, Michael. And these contracts can be used for a special ability that I have here. So with that being said, I have this special scenario card. Anytime that I do a building, I get some type of resource. This is kind of like my asymmetric power here. And then here, during the B phase, which is the gather phase, which is up here, I can swap out any token for another token. End of game, I score 2 victory points for every one of my blue cards. That is the basics of the game, except for, we'll go back to here now. So during the recruit phase, you can draw 2 tokens. One of them you will place on wherever you want to recruit your townsfolk, and then the other one will go to the town square. On my next turn, I can either grab this one and place it over here, or if I don't want that one, I can just grab 2 more from the bag and choose a different one. So I could go with blue, or I could go with gray. So that's the recruit phase. During the income phase, let's say I have something like this. Let's say I have something like that. What I will then do is I will put these on these spaces here and gather whatever is on those spaces, and that could be more trading posts, it could be more resources, victory points, movement, all sorts of stuff like that. Hey Ian, thanks for being here. There is so much color here. It's a lot of stuff. After that, we do the income phase, and then we return everything. We play through 3 rounds, and we will see if we're victorious. Now, in the solo, there are a couple different scenarios, and I'll go ahead and go through that scenario right now so that we all know what I need to do in order to win scenario 1. 1 second, looking at stuff here. Okay. All right. So for scenario 1, we need, here we go, chapter 1. Beyond the realm of Navoria lies the Forgotten Lands. Perhaps this province, inhabited by the reclusive but welcoming Anglins, holds the key to the mystery of the strange new continents that have risen from the ocean. Your adventure begins as you set off to establish contact with the Anglins and ask for their wisdom. So additional setup, like I mentioned, we had to put these solo tokens on each track with a flag. Additional rules. When one of the exploration markers lands or passes a space with a solo token, collect it and gain that benefit. So if this one were to move to this space, I would grab this token and collect whatever benefit is on the back of it. And then my chapter objective is all exploration markers must be on space 3 or further. 1, 2, 3. So 3 here, 3 here, 3 there. By the end of income phase in round 3, and then I have to claim at least 6 of the solo tokens. So at least 6 of those solo tokens. There is really, so that is the win condition, but then you have different victories, different star victories. So you can get a bronze star victory by scoring 110, 140 for a silver, and 170 for a gold star victory. A couple more of the rules change, but we'll get to those whenever it's that phase. So we can go ahead and get started here. So I'll go ahead and start drawing from this bag. All right, so we've got a silver and, or I'm sorry, a yellow and a pink. Both of those are good. Anytime that I build on one of those spaces, I get a resource. Movement is always good. 169, my first run through of chapter 1. Pretty good. Pretty good. Let's see how close I can get to that. Now, George, I'm not sure if you know, there was a couple of errata in the rule book, and they've updated the rule book, and it is now on BGG. So I know one of the biggest things that wasn't mentioned in the rules before is you actually don't score these exploration tracks at the end of every round. I didn't know that until I looked at the new rule book there. Let's do this. Desert seems good. There's a lot of little tokens over there. So I think we're going to do that first. We're going to get this pink one. We're going to place it up here. Getting this card. And this card, let me actually move up there, is going to allow me to move twice on the desert. So 1, 2. I've passed this one. I'm going to collect it, and that actually gives me 2 victory points. And then this card also gives me 2 victory points. So there we are. We are at 4 points right now. Okay. And then my first card there, I've got this, I don't know what species this is, but the little furry looking one. So that looks like it's the top one, and that's for every green and pink card that you collect at the end. I kind of want to go for blues. This end game scoring is for blues. Killing it. Doing real good so far. Okay, so that's my first move. And honestly, for my second move, I do like getting this token anyway and just coming here and building something out. This one gives me a move it on the glaciers, which would allow me to get another solo token. And then if I build on the glacier, I get a sword. And then I'm starting to get a set with that symbol. So I think that might be what I'm going for there. I think I like that. So we'll go ahead and go here. We'll take this one. We're going to get one movement on the glacier and one, one trading place on the glacier. So I'll remove this. That is for the desert, not the glacier. And this goes here. Then I'll go ahead and turn this over, and it's another 2 victory points. Oh, sorry about that microphone. Okay. Doing good so far. So these trading posts, not only are they good for triggering these actions, at the end of every round, you actually go back to your furthest trading post. And if you don't have one, you'd go back to the beginning of the route. So if I don't build one here, this is going to go back to the start, and then it's going to be just as hard to make it down. So probably going to want to build one there in a little bit. So, all right. Don't have anything else in the town square. Hey, Tay. Yeah, there's a lot of color, but not as much as Arborea. So appreciate you stopping by. 2 more here. Okay, so green and gray. Green and gray. So green is resources. We need this little sprite. Oh, I'm sorry. I built a glacier, so I get a sword. And I can put this sword anywhere. I think we'll put it here for now. Okay. Green cards score you victory points anytime you fill contracts. Grays give you things. Oh, I think I'm actually supposed to start with a contract. Let me double check the rules real quick. I think I do start with a contract. Solo mode. Follow the additional setup instructions. Player setup. Maybe I don't. Could have swore I did. Oh, I actually didn't do this part either. I forgot about this. I was supposed to choose a difficulty. So technically right now we're playing the hard difficulty. You don't get anything, but I did want to start with the medium difficulty, which is this middle one. So I do get a bump movement, a track movement somewhere, and then I also do get a crystal. So we're doing the medium difficulty, and this crystal will have gone here. And let's move up this one for the track movement. Okay, so that does give me another one. That's another crystal. Well, I don't want to just spread them out everywhere. I guess let's go. I'm planning on building some trade posts out here, so we'll do that. Okay, we got these 2, which is green and gray. Possibly gray. That lets me build another trading post. Gives me a green and a yellow card. This scores for yellow cards at the end of the game. And blue cards. My personal thing here scores me for blue cards. Let's go ahead and go gray. And we'll grab this card here. So that's going to be a trading post and then 3 victory points. I'm just going to tuck that here. So we'll do a trading post, and it can be any trading post I want. So I'm going to build one out in the desert so that I don't go all the way back. And then I get 3 victory points. Again, sorry about that microphone. I'll have to mute it at some point or something. Okay. I built out in the desert. So that gives me a crystal. So we'll put that crystal here. Now on this one, you have to have a sword, a crystal, and an apple in order to trigger it. Here you need just 4 of any kind. Here you need 3 of a kind. So either 3 swords, 3 crystals, or 3 apples. Okay, so there's green. Huh. Okay, if I get a green one, I can place it here. Get me some resources. Wouldn't be able to trigger anything yet, but I'm getting close. Okay, let's go ahead and draw and see what options we get there. Ooh, actually, this is my last draw. I only get 4 cards per turn. So do I want that green one? Or something else? Not sure. Green or something else. I would have to move twice here. Green. This is a sword and an apple. I could put a sword here and an apple here. 2 victory points. And then over here I can get stuff. Apple and 3 victory points. That's what I'm looking at. Purple up here, that would let me build a trading post somewhere. I could definitely build it out here so that I don't get kicked back as far. Yellow over here gives me crystals, so I'd be able to activate this. And then this would give me a contract. Okay, yeah, let's take green. So we're going to go there. We're going to get the 3 victory points and an apple. I think 2 victory points. Plus, that's that symbol for the green cards up there, green and purple. So I'm going to take that one. It's 2 victory points, and then a sword and an apple. So we'll place a sword here, and we'll do an apple here. Okay, I'm going to get 2 victory points. I'm going to mute my mic real quick. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that is the recruit phase. Now we'll go into the gather phase. So at the gather phase, we will take all 4 of these tokens and we'll place them in their respective spots out here. Now, I believe in the solo mode, I'm pretty sure, and George, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have to go to the topmost space on there just because that's what you have. So I am going to start here. We're going to get 2 contracts. And contracts are worth 1 victory point at the end of the game if you don't spend them. So I'm going to get 2 contracts. Now, during this phase, I can trade any color of these into another color if I wanted to. I don't think I do, but I could do that. I want to build. So let's go ahead and get this. We're going to go right there, and we're going to build anywhere. We're actually going to build here on the desert. You can go to any, I think. I'm not sure. I mean, there's really no point in going to the other ones just because the top one is pretty much the best one. Yeah. There would actually be no point. I guess if you wanted the movement instead of the building. I don't remember. And like I said, they upgraded the solo rules on BGG, but I don't remember that part. We'll just go to the top one. Okay, now we will go here. That's going to get me 2 crystals and 2 2 points. Now, how these work, I didn't explain it last time, but you cannot put your resources in the same space. You have to split them up. So we will go 1 here and 1 here. Now that's going to trigger this. So we're going to go ahead and spend these resources. Oops. And like I mentioned on Monday, if you weren't here, these are actually the deluxe resources of this game. The normal ones are just your tokens, but these are deluxe. The expansion comes with the deluxe contracts. So if you want matching pieces, definitely go with the deluxe ones. Okay, so I triggered this. So what that gives me is 1 movement on the desert, which doesn't really do anything for me right now. It gives me 1 victory point per green card. So I'm going to give myself that. I don't recall if I gave myself the 2 victory points here. I don't think I did, so I'm going to do that. And then here I get to move on the forest, which is this one. And then that gives me a resource of my choice. Nice. I'll deal with that in a second. And then I get 1 movement on the glacier. Okay, so my resource of my choice, I think I'm going to go with swords here. And I'm completing this. So I get 1 movement on glacier. That gets me an apple. I get 1 point per green card, so this is a green card. And then I get 1 victory point here. And I see that my board is slightly off and I can't see it up there. But I'm sitting at 15 victory points. Let me see if this is better. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay. So now, with that being said, this apple is going to go here. And I have this green one left. I don't really care about these resources, to be honest. And I can change this using my contracts. So if I changed it, I could go here and get any resource, trigger a movement, which would then get me this solo token. Or I could change it to red and get 2 swords and get any movement, which I think might be better. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to pay these two contracts to do this action here on my board. And I'm just going to make this a red. It's going to get me 2 swords. So I'll put 1 sword. There's no point in moving in the forest right now, so I'm not going to. But I'm going to put 1 here and 1 here. And then I get a movement anywhere that I want, so I'm going to move here. And I will get another sword. And this sword can go here. Okay. Pretty good first round there. I've already got my 6 solo tiles that I need for the chapter 1 scenario. 6 of them. So let's go ahead and do the income phase now. Oh. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so the income phase. I will score 1 victory point for every flag that I have reached. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't have any blue merchant cards, so I don't screen anything for that. Normally in a 2-player game, you can't use you're not supposed to use the faction tiles in the solo. At least not in the first scenario. That's kind of what this card does for you. Oh, in a multiplayer game, whoever is furthest on the tracks would score 3 victory points. But in the solo game, you do not score those because you would always be furthest on the track. And that is it for the income phase. We'll go ahead and return all these tiles. Put them back in the bag. And then get rid of these cards. Should be getting blue cards. Clear these grays. Reds. So I think if I find a red that scores for trading posts in the desert, that's a good way to go. Because I've got 2 of the 3 already. All right, and then yellows. Okay. All right, everything is set up there. Ready for our next round. Oh, your person goes back to the closest trading post. If there isn't one, it just goes back to the start. Discard the remaining cards in all displays, flip over new ones, adjust the turn order compass. This is the turn order compass. Whoever is leading in the multiplayer game goes first, and then it goes back that way, so whoever's next. But in the solo game, it is just there. Okay. Round 2 of 3. Let's draw some tokens. Blue and green. Okay. Unfortunately, all those blues are not the species that I want, and I have none of that symbol, so that income doesn't really give me much, which is unfortunate. I didn't mention it, but at the end of the tracks, there are these white tokens, and once you reach that, that gives you that species as part of ones that you have. So I think I'm going to go green, but I don't really want to go green. But I am close to having those 5 bears or whatever those things are. Give me a sword and a crystal. I'd be able to trigger this here. Be able to trigger this, but that's not going to do anything for me much. I have to be on space 3 of all of them by the end of the game. So I do need to move on purple quite a bit. I think I'm going to go green. Let's go green. So we'll go there, and we're going to get this one, which is 2 victory points, a sword, and a crystal. So let's get a sword. Place the sword here. We'll place the crystal here. 2 victory points. This triggers, so I spend my 3 swords. I'm going to get 1 movement on the glacier. I'm going to get 1 victory point for every green card, so I have 2 of them, then plus an extra victory point. So that's 3 victory points and 1 movement on Glacier. So 1 on Glacier, 3 victory points. Okay. Blue, I unfortunately don't really want to get blue right now. Although let's see. I would like to get this species. Where is it? This little sprite. There's 2 there, and that's for building on the desert, so that would be a good one to get. And it's at the end of that track up there. So this one has 2 of the sprite symbol. If I make it to the end of that track, I get a sprite. Okay, let's draw from the bag. Let's get some red ones, come on. Green and gray. Okay. Green and gray. Grays get me contracts. This one gets me 3 movement. That's really good, actually. This one gets me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 victory points and a movement. Where do I need to move? Those are movement. I need trading posts. Maybe I get this one. Gets me contracts. I just don't like the options for green. But I think I'm going to take it. I'm going to go for the sprite here, which is 3 crystals. So we'll put 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's go ahead and draw again. Come on. Did I put reds in here? I sure did. Okay, yellow and purple. So we're definitely going to go yellow. But there is no desert one out there. It's okay. There is another glacier one, and there is a forest one. Neither of those things help me. But I think, I mean, we have to build them eventually anyway, so might as well build this forest one. Let's go ahead and take this. And we're going to build this forest. Go right there. And then we get 1 movement on the forest. It's another yellow card at least. Let's put it like that. Okay. Last one. Do I just want to do some movement? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a lot. Gives you points for flags. 1. If I move here, that's 2, 3, 4. Move there, that's 5. I need a red. I want to get this card. So let's hope for a red. No reds. Great. All right, so purple or blue. I guess I can still get a sprite up there. Gets me 2 movement on the desert. 1, 2. Blues get me points for the faces. Yeah, we're gonna go purple. That's 2 movement. So 1, 2. And then just scoring for victory points. Okay, so that is the end of the round. I've drawn 4 cards. These in the town will now go back in the bag. And we will start doing our gather phase. So let's start with... okay, that's actually not bad. Let's start with green here. We'll go there. It's going to give me 2 apples and something of my choice. So we'll go here and here. That will clear this one. Ooh, actually, hold on. Before we do that, let's do this instead. Let's do our purple. We'll do purple here, and then we're going to build. And we're going to actually build this one out here. Okay. Now I will go here, and we'll do apple, apple, sword. Yep, we'll do apple, apple, sword, or apple, apple, crystal. I'm gonna get crystals here. So apple, apple, sword. This one will clear. So that triggers a movement on here. That gives me 1 point for every green card, so that's 3 points. That gives me 1 movement on forest, 1 movement on glaciers, and then 1 victory point for every green card, so that's 3 cards. Okay, that triggered this one as well. 1 movement on forest, 3 victory points for green cards, 2 more victory points. Okay, I also did build out this one, so anytime I build something, I did build in the desert, that gives me another crystal. Let's put that crystal, let's just put it here, why not? So that clears this one. Gives me 1 movement on glacier. Gives me 3 victory points. And 1 more victory point. A lot of little combo chain reactions there. Well, it would be nice to move here 1 more time, but I don't think that's going to happen. I know that's not going to happen. So let's go here. We'll get an apple and something. So we'll put an apple here, and then let's put a sword here, I guess. Actually, you know what? No. Let's put an apple here. Nope. Yeah, I don't think it matters. Let's put an apple here, put a sword here. And then for this one, we'll get 2 crystals. So we'll go 1, 2, and 2 victory points. Sitting at 43. Okay. That is the end of round 2. Quite a bit going on there. All right, let's look at our, or I'm sorry, that was the end of the gather phase. Now let's go to income. So we'll start with our purple ones. This is 1 victory point for every flag that we've reached. We've reached 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times 2 is 10 because I have 2 purple cards. So we're sitting at 53. Then no blue cards, so I have no income there. And then we return. These go back to the bag. Our person goes back to our nearest trading post. And the card's clear. All right, we have one more round. By the end of this round, we have to make it to spot 3 on all of our places. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. We have to get our 6 solo tokens, which we already have. And then just try to score as many points as we can. Okay, here's one for deserts. Here's one for glaciers. That gives us the symbols we need. A lot of refreshing here. One, two, three. Okay. Final round. Final round. What do I need to do? I need to get one more of this beast. I need to get 3 more sprites. So there's 2 sprites here. There's one there. There's that one there. Hey, Shelby. How's it going? You get to see Explorers of Navoria now. You get to see all the pretty colors. Okay. So I think that's kind of the game plan. I need to get... I don't need this one. If I could grab this one and this one and this one. So 2 blues and a red. And then get some movement too. Blues don't give me movement. Okay, let's see what I can do here. Let's draw from the bag. Okay. Okay. So this one is good. I don't need to move anything here. I need to move twice here. I need to move twice up there. Either of those pinks is good. This gray is good also because it gives me 2 movements and 2 victory points, but it gives me no symbols. I think we're going to take this gray. So that's going to move anywhere. So we'll move here once. We'll move there once. Okay. Draw 2 more. Green and a red. Okay. Let's grab this red. And this is going to score for outposts that are on the glaciers. 2 victory points for those. But most importantly, it's giving me these 2 sprite symbols. So I've got 4 of them now. Okay. Let's draw 2 more. Okay, a gold and a pink. 2, 3, 4. You could grab, well, that one doesn't. This one. Let me build up here. That actually wouldn't be bad. Then that lets me get those. I think this might be okay. Or I do a pink, and it lets me move up there. Green is 1 sprite symbol, 1, 2, 3, 4. I literally just need 1 more. I think 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm gonna get that purple card. So this one gives me 3 victory points, 56. It's gonna let me move on glaciers, which is now exactly where I need to be there. Then it's gonna give me some income, but most importantly, it gives me my 5th beast symbol. So I get to claim these endgame victory points, and it's gonna score for every pink and green card. One, two, three. Okay. So for my last one, I just need to move here, which I can do with this red because that will allow me to move. So I'm good with movement. Do you think this is one I would enjoy? Ian, I do think it is one you would enjoy. I don't think it's that complicated. It's very easily laid out, but there is some decision space. You know, just on what card you're going to get and stuff like that. I think the base game, you and your wife could probably play it together because it's really not that difficult. I want to say the weight is under a 2.0 on BGG. More complexity gets added in with the Forgotten Lands expansion. Okay. What was I doing? So I have these 3 colors. I could grab this sprite here. And that would give me 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could go with yellow. That would not give me the sprite that I need. Is there any way I can do 3 movement on Glacier? 1, 2, 1, 2. I probably could. Can I do a movement here on Forest? Cannot do a movement on Forest. Playthroughs I've seen at 2 look really fun. Yeah, my wife and I played it a couple weekends ago, and I was able to teach it to her pretty easily. And we played with like the asymmetric powers and all that stuff. And yeah, it was really smooth. These what are they called? These reference cards are actually really good. So it tells you recruit, tells you exactly what to do, gather phase, exactly what to do, income, and then return. So these are made really well. Okay. I'm just debating right now. Do I want to claim this right now? Thing is, if I can move 3 times up over there, this game is a 10 for me. Have you played the other scenarios, George? I'm unsure what to do here. Getting a blue card would be good because it scores me victory points. But I think I need more movement. And I get that with other things. All right, I'm going to take this purple. We're going to go here. And we're going to grab this one. It gives me 2 victory points. It gives me a movement on the mountain. Oh, hold on. The only reason I wanted that was because if I moved there, I could get that symbol and then claim that one. Let me take that back real quick. 3 movement. This is 1 movement. I spend 2 contracts. I could make it whatever I want. Be 2 movement. Can I get another red one? Get resources here. That gives me movement. Okay. Maybe resources is the best thing here. Get an apple, complete this one. Sword and a sword. Apple. Oh man, I'm like stuck right now. 1 through 3 so far. Awesome. That's really cool. I'm just overthinking this right now. I don't know what I want. I don't think it matters too much, because I think I can get 3 movement and I think I can claim that either way. So let's draw. Love to build on the mountain because that's endgame victory points. But it's crystals and I don't care about crystals. Okay, let's do that. We're gonna build on the mountain. So this will come up here. Sorry, that took me so long there. 2 victory points. Oh, I built up on the mountain, so that gives me a sword, which I'll place here. Then I think that's it for the recruit phase. So these will go away. Okay. I've completed all the goals. Now I just have to score at least 110. But I would like to do a couple more things here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 sprites. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beasts. I would like to make it to the end of that track in order to get that sprite. This gives me 1 movement. If I can trigger this, it gets me another movement. This gets me a movement. What I love is you can replay chapters to try and beat your previous score. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. That's the good thing about beat your own scores, or beat your high scores. Okay. Let's go here, because this one isn't gonna... No. Let's go here with gray. We're gonna get 2 contracts, because then I can change something if I need to. Let's go red. We're gonna get 2 swords. 1. I don't think it matters. 2. Actually, it might. And then I get a movement. Ooh, I do need to move here too. I definitely need to trigger this one. We're going to go ahead and go here. We'll get 2 crystals and 2 points. That will go there. And this will go here. So this one triggers. So you get a movement on the desert. I get 1, 2, 3. I think I had a green over here. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 victory points. I get a movement on the forest. So this one is completed. I get a movement on this. Give me something good. Oh, an apple. Cool. Okay. I'm going to place this apple. Well, I'll get it in a second. Then 3 victory points for my greens. Now my apple is going to go here. And I'm going to trigger that. I get a movement on the mountain. I got my final sprite. So let me claim that. I do get 3 victory points for reaching the end of the track there. I get 3 victory points for my reds. Or I'm sorry, for my greens. I get a victory point here. 3 more victory points for my greens. And then I don't get that movement, but we are good there. Ooh, all right. So now for my purple, I can make it anything that I want. And I think probably want to make it this. What gives me a movement? A red gives me a movement. It gives me a sword and a movement. Blue just gives me 6 victory points, which actually is not bad either. I need 1 more crystal, and then I could trigger this. Gives me more than 6 victory points. Actually, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend these 2 contracts. I'm going to make that pink into a blue. That's what my special ability is. I'm sorry, a yellow. I'm going to get a crystal. That crystal will go here. We get 2 victory points. I'm going to clear these crystals. And then I get a movement on the mountain. It pegs up there the track, so I get 3 victory points. I get 3 here for my green cards. I get another one. I get 3 for my green cards. 88. Okay. Income phase. All right. Purples. So I have 3 purples. So it's 3 points for every flag that I have reached. I have reached 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 times 3 is 18. 1, 2, 3, 5. Oh, going to the other side of the board again. 105. So that's purples. I have no blues. So not doing anything there. All right. Now let's go to final scoring. Solo mode, complete the chapter objectives. Okay, so we did medium difficulty. I guess it's just like normal. So each solo difficulty scores. Okay, let's do this here. At the end, I get 2 points for every blue card. Check, check. Okay, here we go. We're back. I don't know what just happened there. Had to just unplug it and replug it back in. Okay. Where was I? Thanks, Steve. I don't remember if I gave myself the points for the blue. I don't think I did. So I do have 2 blue cards here from the gray cards. So that is 4 more points. Did you turn it off back? That's exactly what I did, Pat. Actually, no, I did give myself the 4 points because I moved it up with the rule book here. So, okay, so that was my 4 points there. No. That was my 4 points for my red card. 4 points here. 113. Let me go up there so y'all can see my score point. Just hit it right. Exactly. I don't know what happened. There's always issues. Okay, and now we're going to score the actual tiles up here. So I get 2 points for every green and purple card that I have. So I've got 3 purple cards, actually 4 purple cards. This one counts as purple. And then I've got 3 green cards as well. So 4 times 2 is 8, plus 6 is 8 plus 6 is 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 10, we're at 127. So that's that top one. And then right here, because I was able to get it at the end, it's 2 points for every blue and for every yellow card. So I have 2 blue cards and 3 yellows. So that's 10 points more. So we're sitting at 137. All right, 137, and that is my final score. What did I need for a silver victory? I think it was like 150. Oh, 140. No, I was 3 points away. Dang. I was close to that one. There you go, George. It hooked me right at the end. I definitely want to replace it with a silver victory there. But yeah, that was Explorers of Navoria. Not a bad game. I do enjoy it. I actually think the solo is a little bit more thinky than what I was expecting it to be. It's a little bit harder because you don't see as many tiles from the bag. And in a multiplayer game, you have a lot more choice here in the town square. So, you know, I draw my 2, one of them gets on there. Your opponent draws 2, one of them stays on there. So you have 2 to choose from, where in the solo, you really only have 1 to choose from, at least at the beginning. So you see a lot more of the tiles. Reds didn't come out for me for a long time. I really wanted to get this card here. Because it scored for every desert trading post, and of course that's what I had the most on. And there's multiples of these cards also, so like you can stack them. If I had 2 of them, it would have scored double for those. So, you know, not bad. I do enjoy that. Also in the multiplayer game, like I mentioned, you get this exploration track. So whoever's the leader on that gets the 3 victory points. And then in a 3 or 4 player game, you get the other ones as well. But in a 2 player, you don't get the bottom one. The town square is a little bit tighter, obviously, in a multiplayer game because you start from the top down and you go from there. Just kind of deciding what you want. So I'm really trying to figure out how could I have gotten 3 more points. I wish I would have got 3 more points, but didn't happen. If I had another apple, that could have helped, but I ended up needing it here to do that. Anyway, not going to dwell on it too much. They also have new exploration tiles to change the track. Yeah, so let me pull out some of the expansion stuff here. And I believe, so George, you had asked earlier, the asymmetric player powers. I think there's some scenarios where you might add them in. Town spaces, swords cannot be used. Nope. No. Always skip the return phase. Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah, they do. It's for red cards. I'll pull those out here in a second. Yeah, I know for the solo setup, it says basically just use the gray cards, the exploration tiles, the solo mode, the round gold cards. So let's look at this stuff. I was able to fit everything in the base box here. So the expansion box is actually just completely empty. I mentioned I had like this little side quest stuff. So here's some other side quests that you actually get to try. So like this one, it's whenever you get a set of each spirit, you get a movement of your choice. Anytime that you fulfill a contract using these resources, you get a victory point. Whenever you've used 5 of those resources, you get a movement. Anytime you reach a flag, you get a victory point. And then I believe if you make it to the end of the track, you get an extra victory point. So that actually would have been nice up there on the mountain. Same thing on the resources. This one, I'm not sure. It might be whenever you claim a goal, you get a movement. And this one is if you get a set of all color cards, you get 2 resources and 3 victory points. So those are just different skills that you can do while you're playing the game. And then there's other difficulty levels or things that you can use your recruitment cards for. Your contracts for. So like here you can spend your contracts for a movement, but you score for the journey. Spend your contracts for resources, contracts to swap cards out. Same thing to swap cards out there. So those are a couple more of the solo cards. Another thing the expansion adds is at the end of every round, you have these end of round bonuses that you're kind of going for. They're kind of end of round gold cards. And so if you've built 2 trading posts, you get 2 victory points. If you've built 4, you get 6. If you've built 6, you get 12. If you've reached 3 flags, so on and so forth. So it's just different ways to score victory points at the end of every round. And it's just another kind of goal to go for in between rounds. So you have that one. There are different objective tiles that you go for. And when you play with the 2-player, you actually block one of them off. But this one's like score for yellow and purple, just yellow. Ooh, now that I'm looking at this one, what is this? Oh, it is 2 victory points. Okay, this one's 3 victory points. I was hoping that one would have been 2. 2 blue and purple, blue and green. So it's just different combinations of the colors to score for at the end of the game. And as you can see, these are modular also, so they can go on any of those. They just come up randomly. And then right here, these are the asymmetric player powers. So in the multiplayer game, you pass them out. You can do it randomly. You can draft however you want. But everybody gets one of these and one of these. And so you've got both of those actions. So like this one, I'm not sure what it is. Oh, this is what you start with, I think. You get one of these cards plus a contract, and then you can spend your contracts during these phases to do these actions. So there's a bunch of those that you pass out throughout the other games. So the expansion really just adds a lot more variety and asymmetric abilities to the games. The last thing that it adds is these exploration tiles. exploration tile bonuses. So like George is saying there in the chat, I had the sword one. Yeah. And these just score for different things. So this one is the furthest person on the track gets you 2 contracts. For every red card that you have, you get a victory point or 2. I'm not sure exactly how to read that. But that kind of helps you, it motivates you to get those red cards a little bit more, because honestly, you know, like for me, I only got 4 points from this red card at the end of the game, and these would make it a lot more lucrative to kind of go for those. But yeah, that is all that I have here for Explorers of Navoria. Appreciate you guys coming by, watching that stream. Sorry about the microphone there at the end. I don't know what happened, but I'm glad we got it fixed. And yeah, this is one that I'm just going to continue to play, and I'll set up scenario 2 and play scenario 2, and then hopefully get a couple more multiplayer games in, and then really come back with my final thoughts of it. So ended up scoring 137, 3 points away from that silver victory. Still ended up getting a victory, so not bad in the long run. Still pulled out a win. George, thanks for being here. Everybody else, Ian, Dennis, Pat, my IT guys, appreciate you guys helping out. Michael, thanks for being here. Hopefully you enjoyed the game. Definitely take a look into it, and yeah, that's all that I have. See you guys next time. Devin and I won't be here on Friday, but we will be back next week with normal scheduling. So that's all I have. As always, remember to like, comment, subscribe. All that stuff helps us, helps our channel grow. See y'all next time.